Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and on today's video I will be smoking some beef short ribs on my UDS, an ugly drum smoker. We're going to be talking about it as well, and also I'm going to show you how to prep and smoke beef rib, and we're going to make some beef rib birria tacos later on Kamado Bono as well. So jump in with me and let's go. Right, so the first things first, let's have a look at the ribs that I've got, which is British beef ribs from Costco. They do have a nice marbling, as you can see. The price for the 3.2 kilo was 29 quid almost. They look a nice decent rib for me. So let's cut it open, let's prep them. Let's cut these open. Always want to pat down the meat dry. You don't want to wash it, just pat it down. Right, so let's take a look at the actual marbling. As you can see, it's quite nice. It's got a nice intermuscular fat on it, so these ribs should be coming out very nice out of the smoker. So what I'm going to do, usually like to strip this fat off, but probably because I'm doing the birria today, I'm not gonna. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna make an experiment. One of those, I'm gonna leave the fat on when we're gonna core it like that. Go diagonal like that, take any loose bits of fat off, and the other one I'm going to take most of the fat off the top, which is actually reveals a nice marbling on this one. Can't believe these are the Costco ribs. Right, just keep removing that silver skin as much as possible, just like that. Just go on a little bit with the tip of the knife, and that just comes off usually. There we go. I've took most of the fat off the top fat layer. Just look at that marbling, it's very nice. So this one's going to stay as it is, and if you know what you're doing, keep the fat. You can make some beef tallow, you can grind it in your next burgers if you've got a meat grinder. So I'm just going to boil it like that and freeze it till I've got enough fat to render it. So there we go. We've got beef ribs, one with a fat cap on top of it, one without a fat cap on top. Just got a nice vein going through of fat, just as I said, a lot of fat. For the binder, we're just using a standard French mustard. The other sides, don't put too much on it. So basically just your rubs that you're going to apply is going to stick onto it, just like that. Repeat that on all of the sides. There we go. And that's the binder applied on the meat, just easy as that. If you've never done it, there you go. Right, so for the rub, I'm using this Smoky Rebel SPG rub. Never used it before. It comes like in a soda can, brand new, sealed. Always shake your rubs before use. And just basically just opens up like that. Let's try shake it. And just apply. Ooh. It's a very salty rub. Just apply to all the sides. For some reason I think this rub, the salt is a bit too large, if you know what I mean. Let's have a look. Never used this rub before, so let's give this rub a chance. So this piece with the fat cap on is rubbed. Let's do the same on the other one. Applying binder. You can use whatever binder you guys like. This is the most standard binder application. Basically mustard. You don't be scared, you're not going to feel any mustard flavour. If you don't like mustard, you can use a little bit of barbecue sauce. You can use a bit of olive oil. Whatever you want as binder to help the rub stick to it. I know it's called rub, but never actually rub it on. Basically, when you put it on like that, just press it down, just like that. On the beef ribs like that, basically there's no point doing the back of the ribs because all that membrane and everything's just going to stay. There you go. So both ribs are ready. Give these ribs about half an hour and we're going to prep the smoker. Just a little bit of a closer look. So the handles are made from Jack Daniel barrel staves. I bent all these brackets up, made the chimney, got a bit welded, that's why it's so rough. Got a top cut out, basically done all this. The only thing I regret about the top of the chimney, I should have done that chimney at the back. The handle brackets are made by me as well. Obviously the sign is not. The bottom ventilation is made by me. It closes and opens. Took me a little while, but I made that. Yeah, all the way around, just a standard 57 centimeter drum, which is I believe is a 45 gallon drum. Inside I've got brackets for the bars that can hang ribs, chicken, whatever. I've got 57 centimeter grill on it. I've got 2 level tiers brackets, stainless steel, all the bolts stainless steel. I've got a little ash catcher in the bottom. I haven't used this grill for a while, that's why it's a bit rusty. So we've got the actual heat diffuser, heat deflector, whatever you want to call it. But I found this lovely round steel with a size, and what I've done, I've just cut 3 sides in, opened up. Actually works pretty good. And my fire basket is a washing machine drum. Works really good, as you can see. It's been burned a few times now. So let's load the charcoal in and put the ribs on. Right, so I'm using lump of charcoal Texas Club. As you can see, it's a nice charcoal coming out of the bag. Whoop. Decent sizes. Fill up the fire chimney like that, and that will do us to start the fire. To start the fire on a fire chimney, I'm using 2 wood ball lighters and put the chimney over the fire and let the fire ignite for about 10 minutes. For the smoke, I'm using Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel chunks, the ones I've cut up myself. So just throw them in just like that. That will be fine. Right, as the fire chimney is actually getting lit up quite nicely, I'm going to remove it for now. I'm going to remove the grate off. Then we're going to place the firebox in. Should have made that firebox slightly smaller, but if it works for me, it works. There you go. So I'll just place the firebox in. Basically what we're going to do now. Right, I'm happy with that. Charcoal lit up like that. Put it right in the middle. And then I'm going to put my heat diffuser on. I'm going to put the grates on. I'm going to let that charcoal light up for another 5 minutes with the bottom ventilation fully open, and then we're going to shut the lid. Right, so it's been 5 minutes. What we want to do, shut the lid, open the top ventilation, and let the grill come up to the temps. I'm shooting today 150C, so now we want to wait for about 120, 25 sort of, and then we're going to dial in the top ventilation and the bottom ventilation. Right, so the temps are actually running at about 130. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to close the bottom, say about 2 fingers, and close the top about halfway, and wait for the temperature to raise up to 150, and preheat your grill sort of for another 20 minutes or so. So in the meantime, while the grill is getting heated up to my required 150 Celsius temperatures, I'm going to show you this gadget. So come closer. That I'm going to be using today, which is a Temp Spike Plus dual thermometer. So simply remove that out the housing and basically put that in. So the black one we're using for the trimmed one, right in the middle, all the way in, and the white one we're going to be using for untrimmed part, sticking like that right in the middle all the way up to the white thing. So the white one's going to be for the non-trimmed part, the black one's going to be for the trimmed part. So let's slightly talk about this thermometer. What I like about it is, yes, it's wireless, you don't need any cables running from your grill and stuff like that, but what I also like, which is not many of those, it has got a screen on it, so you don't need any apps or anything like that to connect to your phone, to connect to your wireless thermometer. Really good, chargeable, USB charging, got a lit up LCD screen, both there, white, black, basically. There you go. So there you go, nothing fancy about it, but it's really good. So if you want to get one, have a look down below. So now let's have a look at the temperatures. So we're running nearly exactly 150 C's. It's been about 20 minutes. Give it another 5-10 minutes and we're going to be placing the meat inside the smoker. Right, there we go. It's time for the meat to go in the smoker. Look at that lovely meat. It's been standing. Some of the salt's been dissolving on the meat already. So let's remove the lid. So I'm going to be placing these each side. So the right side is going to be trimmed, left hand side is going to be a non-trimmed. Them thermometers will show ambient temperatures as well. So let's close it up so before the temperature gets spiked, make sure that your top ventilation and bottom ventilation is exactly the same as it was when it was set up already. So in a couple of minutes we'll get it back to 150. So now the ribs are set up. Basically I'm not going to look at them for about a couple of hours at least. So what to do in the meantime, enjoy a couple of these. I'll see you in a second. Also forgot to mention about this thermometer. Basically you can see the internal meat temperatures at the moment, but if you press the S button it switches to the ambient temperatures, which is inside the grill at that level right in the middle, which is still raising inside. I know the external thermometer shows 150, but they are climbing up. So if you press one more time, it basically what it does is switches temperatures all the time, or you can just set, so basically shows internal temps all the time, or just the ambient temperatures all the time, or both when it switches. Let's leave the ribs for a couple of hours. We come back in a couple of seconds in your time to show you what they look like. And always use good quality charcoal. My preferred charcoal is Texas Club. Never let me down in the last 4 years. Right, so it's been a couple of hours now. The meat temperatures inside showing 77 and 75. So 2 hours hot and fast. That's pretty good. Still standing 150. So beef ribs looking good. There's a nice pull back on the actual bones. So let's give it another probably an hour, and then we're going to be wrapping them. Right, so it's been 2.5 hours now. Our meat temperatures, as you can see, 83 and 80. I'm happy with that. And what we're going to do, we're going to take them off now. As you can see, the one with the fat cap on. Oh yes, I've got a couple of pieces of gammon going on as well. So my next step is now, obviously we're going to wrap it, we're going to leave it in this. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use beef stock. I'm going to pour it over, pour it on top. This beef stock is not very salty, so that will be fine. There we go. So the next step is now to cover that up. I'm going to go double foil like this, fully cover it, just like that. Just put that back in, and we're probably looking about 2 more hours wrapped up like that in the stock on the same temperature as 150 degrees Celsius. So what the wrapping does to the meat is basically tenderizes your meat. That you're cooking more, makes it softer, so that's why I wrapped it up. Right, so what else I'm going to use for these birria? So obviously the wrap that I'm going to grill on a flat surface. I'm going to add some chives to it. I'm going to add some beef stock as well. Later on I'll show you where I'm going to put that. Also going to add some parsley, mix some red kidney beans, and also some onion as well. That's going to be for the fresh crunch. Right, so I'm going to be lighting up this Kamado Bono now to basically use as a flat grilling surface for the these mini wraps. And as a previous video mentioned up in the corner here, using the old charcoal, what I've done, I've just basically added 2 new large lumps of charcoal that fell out of the bag earlier, as you've seen it. I'm going to light it up, get that one going, because we are, so at the moment the grill is still running 150, both ribs at 97, so a couple of more degrees, and then I'm going to take it out. It's getting pretty dark already. There we go, we're done steaming beef now. Let's take a look inside, because I'm not fully done with them yet. Both pieces are showing 99, 98 Celsius internal temperature. Let's do a probe test. So nice and soft. So have a look at these ribs. The bones come out nice and easy. Want to remove the bones, transfer this on the board. Make sure you've got some other gloves under your rubber gloves to help by handling hot meats like this, so you're not burning straight away. Look at these nice and clean bones. So what I'm going to do now with the meat, get rid of that membrane that we got here. Just cut the beef into smaller pieces as well, like this, cross section. Nice smoke ring. I like to go just like that, into smaller pieces. And with this beef, we're actually going to put back in that stock, soak in all that stock flavour. So there you go. When you cut up the beef ribs, what I'm going to actually do, I'm going to add a handful of raw chopped up onion, those 2 cans of red kidney beans, and a dissolved stock earlier. Mix it all together. Just have a little taste, just to see if there's nothing else is missing on the flavour note. But what we're going to do now, we're going to cover it back up and put it back on a smoker for about an hour. Come off fresh off the grill. Cool, nice and hot. Just for an extra flavour, I'm going to be adding this PorkMafia Texas Gold, which is a super nice flavour, guys. Sprinkle some of that. Add about a handful of parsley, fresh parsley, and give it a good old mix. Mix all those flavours together. This is looking good, smelling good as well. Nice and colourful, flavourful, tender beef. So now let's get the wraps on the griddle, put some cheese on it, put that on, blah blah blah. I'll show you what to do. Now, so first things first, what you want to do is dab the wrap in all that juice and then put it on a griddle. Just like that. So all that flavour goes on the wrap and that cooks nicely. Cook the one side first, flip it, and then start adding all the toppings. So we go with cheese first. Put some cheese, cheddar cheese, whatever cheese. Then grab some that beef that we prepared earlier, just like that. Add a sprinkle of fresh diced onion, a sprinkle of fresh chive. And what I like to add is also a PorkMafia taco topping, jalapeno and cheddar. It's got a nice kick to it, just like that. Then flip that over and finish it off. Sort of like that. And that is done. There you go, that's how it looks like it. So let's take a look at one of those taco things that we've done. It's got a lovely crunch to it, cheesy, it's juicy. So let's give it a little bite test. All the flavour just coming out of the beef flavour. Onions, cheese, toppings. That is literally one of the best things I've cooked in a long time. That is fabulous. So there you go, guys. This is the end of the video. We're gonna go and I'm gonna go and cook the rest of them out for my family. I'm gonna enjoy them. So you should guys try that. It's really nice. It's a lovely party snack as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll guys see you soon. That was just delicious. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. You should try that yourself, guys, as well. It's very nice. I'm gonna go and eat.